Hi everyone. We'll start right away. I'm Cyril. I'm one of the WorldDB members. I'm just here to introduce today's session before I give the floor to the main man, to Davey himself. We'll start with me giving a few words of introductory context. So this session is really dedicated to modding, to what you can edit in Velo Victory, to customize um, your experience and to edit things to your heart's content. So yeah, thank you, Davey. Perfectly in sync. I want to stress that the vanilla database in Velo Victory is heavily fueled by WorldDB, which I'm sure a vast majority of you will know. It makes Velo Victory a management game with an above average, and that's an understatement, vanilla database compared to other sports management games. Of course, you know WorldDB, but also maybe some of you are aware that we are always tweaking some of the lesser known database fields to kind of try and push the limits of the experience we can offer to people. So all of that fueled that collaboration with Davey, with Velo Victory, to providing the vanilla database of the game. But I think by now you guys might be intrigued by this title on the right, which says "not a mod." Indeed, WorldDB will not be a mod in Velo Victory. It's just not possible to do both that, to do both the contribution to the vanilla game and this mod publishing part. It's just not compatible. So that's pretty much it. That was all the kind of context that I wanted to give you, and now I hand it to you, Davey.
Thank you, Cyril, for the introduction and the explanation of how WorldDB contributes to the default game database of Velo Victory. So from my part, the first thing I want to say is that Velo Victory was created with modding in mind. So modding is not an afterthought. We really made the game data-driven, so it gives a lot of possibilities to modders to shape how the game works from a database perspective. So that means next to editing normal stuff that you would expect, like rider data, team data, there's also a whole range of extra stuff that you will be able to edit. That is like the race rules, ranking points, also the injury system, and so on and so on. Okay, so let's kick off with having a closer look at the pregame editor. So the pregame editor is a custom tool that we've created, and it allows you to mod the default database of the game before you start your career. The editor will come as a separate tool from the game, and you'll be able to download it via Steam. And also important to know is that it will be completely free for anyone who likes to use it. So our aim was to bring a powerful tool to the modders with a lot of features that is very user-friendly to use. And I think that's what the pregame editor is. So let's see what it looks like.
Okay, so this is how it looks when you will open a Velo Victory database. Certainly those who worked with some editors before will recognize the structure a bit. What I will do next is I will guide you through what all these icons do and how you can use it to change the database in that way. Yeah, the first two here, they are self-explanatory. I think you can open a database, you can save a database. So here you see we've already opened up the default database. We have opened the cyclist table and you can see the data of it. So let's take a deeper look now. Let's start with the filtering. Filtering is a very powerful tool when you want to edit. But like before, many editors only allowed for one filter. Here you can set 1, 2, 3, multiple, whatever you like filters. You can combine them, which makes it more easy to create a tailored filter on the data. How does it work? You choose the column you want to filter on. So let's here say in the sample that's going to be the first name column. You choose the filter type and then you pass a value. So the filter type is actually very interesting. There you have some different options. You can do an equals. That means that the value needs to match exactly. You can also do a contains. and that means that part of the value needs to be in there. But there are some other options as well, like you see here, greater than, less than. So you can also filter on numeric values. This maybe allows you to, like, for example, say, give me all cyclists from Belgium who have mountain greater than 70. Um, so these combined filters really lets you tailor the way you can filter down your data to look at whatever you want or edit a subset of the data more easily. So let's move on to the next option we have here. Also a big feature, that's the mass edit. Often of times, certainly when you do some bigger editing, you want to make some batch updates. You want to do a change that has impact on more than one row, on more than one cyclist, let's say here. So instead of you need to do it one by one, the mass edit function allows you to really speed up that process by quite a bit.
You know, when I see this, I mean, maybe some of the more expert modders. For WorldDB, we have a lot of experience modding, and there are three main editors, and this is like the best of all of these worlds. Yeah, I feel hurt.
That's exactly what we wanted with the best of breed. So take what is good and improve what was not good in other editors, or what could be improved upon. Yeah. So and that's certainly the direction you want to go in with this editor. Okay. Then the next one, it's a tiny feature, but it can be also helpful, that you can freeze a column. What does freeze column actually do? It just means that every column up to the selected column will stay fixed. Wherever you scroll, you will still keep seeing them. So I think one of the main uses or use cases for this option is when you are viewing the cyclist table, you select the last name column to freeze, and then when you scroll completely to the right to see rider attributes, the first name and last name, they will still be visible, so you actually see whose ratings you are looking at. So this is, it's a small one, but it couldn't be missing. And then we go to a next one. We are getting used to this being available anywhere, but from a technological standpoint of view, this is a more complex one. So we are really happy that we could bring it to the Velo Victory pre-game editor as well. It's whenever you have a linked ID column, instead of just showing the raw numerical value, it gives you a drop down that shows you the actual name values from the other table. And it's not only with region, it's with every linked ID column. It's with the team, like you can see. It's cyclist IDs, country IDs, sponsor IDs, equipment IDs, whatever you think of. That will be all easy, accessible, and editable through the drop downs. Let's go to the next one. So maybe a nice little thing to mention: when you add a row to the table, it automatically generates a new ID for you in the table. So you don't need to worry about, oh, what ID do I need to assign here for this row? You can just focus on the real data that you want to enter, and not that technical stuff. And then of course you can also remove rows again. If you just click the button, it will remove the active row. But the cool thing here is also you can multi-select, like you see here. You can even the rows do not need to be adjacent to each other. With Control-click, you can select multiple rows, click delete, and then the tool will ask you, are you sure you want to delete these rows? You click yes, and they are gone. And everything here we created our best to give you a lot of quality features, but also the ease of use, to make database editing as fast and enjoyable as possible. Okay, and then let's see here. The next one would be the in-game editor, and maybe that needs kind of a little word. So the in-game editor is actually when you will edit your save game. So when you will edit your career, and people who are familiar with Football Manager, they will know that. They will this will feel familiar as well. Football Manager has a pre-game editor, but also has an in-game editor, where during your save game, while you are playing Velo Victory, you can edit your save game. So this is not a separate tool. It's actually built into the game, and you can use it during your career. You can make edits while you are playing your career. When you click OK, it will directly save into your game. So there's no need to reload the save, to reload the game. It will just automatically be updated. And then I think here the bottom one is also really interesting. The save game editor or the in-game editor will also be completely free. It will come with the game. It's not behind the paywall. So when you have the game, you will have the in-game editor, and it's free for everyone who wants to make use of it. That's the only thing different. You don't have to pay for hours. So it will of course facilitate the main things that people want to edit um, when you are playing a career. So that's all about rider data, everything about your team, sponsors, races, but like also things, yeah, what is requested a lot, finances, you will be able to edit all in a very user friendly way. So I think it's about time that I can show you guys how you can really use it from within the game. So this is a we are at the rider profile page here, and you see here where the big red arrow is on top. We have an edit icon, a crayon icon, whatever you like to call it. That icon is available almost in all the screens. It's available in the top navigation bar, and if you click it, a pop-up will show, and it will show the edit screen for the respective screen you are on. So if you are on a rider profile screen, it will open up the edit screen for that rider. If you are on a team page, it will open up the edit screen for that team. Same with races, sponsors, and everything else. So let's say here we are on the rider profile page, and we just click the edit button. Then what happens? You get a nice little pop-up, not a difficult database structure, and you can immediately edit quite a few things directly from within your save while you are playing. Maybe here for the rider profile, I can go over a bit the different segments, as this is something I guess a lot of people will enjoy. The main thing is, of course, that you can update personal information like first name, last name, the country. You can put in your own name. You can put in your own birth country. You can do your birth date. You can change the photo of a rider, the reputation. And then, I think a much requested feature is you can change contract. So you can change the team a rider is at, but also some contract details like the contract and the salary. And even if he has a future transfer arranged, you will be able to edit that. And then we come here to this part, like, the thing nobody uses, but some sneaky people dare to use it while playing your game, updating the fitness, updating the fatigue, updating the morale, or if your star cyclist is injured right before an important race, well, if you like, you can uncheck this checkbox, and then he's no longer injured. So a very user-friendly way again to do some of the editing that is much requested. On the right-hand side, you see the attributes. I think they speak for themselves. You can edit them. Also, the personality stats can be edited here. And then what is also very important, I think, and a lot of people will like, you can edit some hidden values as well. With the most known one, maybe the potential ability, you will be able to change, and also like other stuff like ambition, adaptability, moral sensitivity, and then some more general stuff again like height and weight. You can also edit that. And if you would click confirm here, immediately the changes are applied to your save game. So again, very low effort to make the changes you want to do.
That's nice, Davey. I'm not sure how many of these hidden attributes had been revealed, but yeah, we can also see how many of them there are, and people using the editor also gain access to that hidden part. and yeah, so some people might want to be able to what would you say, to look under the behind the curtain. So
Yeah, under the hood, yeah. Everyone can
yeah.
play the game the way he wants. We won't judge. So yeah, that wraps up the writer editing in the in-game part. So maybe nice to see how a team works as well. So from a team profile page, any other team related page, you click the edit icon again on top. You get the pop-up. Again, a bit the same style. You can do the general information like the name, countries, and such. Also the abbreviation. And then here, that's another cool thing. You can change the shirt if you like. If you have a fantasy shirt or whatever, you can just change it from the in-game editor. You can change the colors of your team, and even some of the team culture can be updated. Like how focused on youth is the team? What's their tendency of the schedule? Do they is it dense? Is it sparse? So this is also adjustable. And here, yeah, also a big one, the finances. Often of times in other games, it's a little bit struggling how you edit it exactly. Here we try to make it as easy as possible. You can edit the sponsor income, the bank balance, the surplus and salary budget and facility budget. Um, Also, the sponsors can be changed. So you can change a sponsor, you can remove a sponsor, you can replace a sponsor or add a new one. And then here the next thing, yeah, if you don't have the budget for it or you don't want to wait on a facility upgrade, there's also this bottom part where you can manage the facility levels of a team. Or yeah, I know maybe yeah what you often see is that people have some crazy ideas to make a YouTube video, and yeah, you destroy one of the best teams. You gave them zero for all the facilities, and see what happens in the next 10 years. So for people with some creative ideas, this in-game editor is also very fun to come up with some scenarios for some nice videos, I would say.
Yeah, what I find very impressive is the sponsors part in particular. I don't know. I remember in World EB we often struggled with this the structure of double, triple sponsorship and so on. So seeing it just seamless like this, really exciting.
Yeah, yeah, I think it will. It also fits in the approach we like to take. That it should be very very easy for everyone. And then I have a final guys on the in-game editor. Um, so I chosen to also show the race edit. So we were here on the page of Tour de Rwanda. We click the edit icon on top. We get a nice little pop-up again. And yeah, as you are used by now, you can update the general information, the name, the country. Here, if you have some cool logo that you want to add, you browse to the logo and it gets added. Reputation can be updated. And I think the next two things are again the same idea. It's much requested features, but normally it's very cumbersome to do them via database editing. So those two are the changing a variant, the current variant of the race, or changing the lineup, which teams join the race. And we try to make it again user friendly here. And then for the accepted teams, you can if your team got rejected and you don't find it fair, you want to join anyway, or again you want to do a crazy YouTube video and want to add a smaller team to a larger race. The editor allows you to do a little bit more, and you can add or remove teams. This was the final screen on the in-game editor. I hope that you guys learned a bit more about the difference between the pre-game and the in-game. They have different purposes, but we try to provide quality features, user experience for both of them. And again, both are free. Both are going to be free to use. Then I think this is like a bit concludes the data part of what we wanted to explain to you guys. And now we are going more to the game assets like the stages and some of the graphical assets. The next one, yeah, it's also a big one, and actually I'm really proud of it. It's the stage creator. So Velo Victory has its own stage format. It's a proprietary file format created, and so we needed to create an editor, a stage creator for it. And this is also a separate tool. So the stage creator is a separate tool. It will also be like the pre-game editor that you can download it separately from as a tool from Steam. Again, it's not mentioned here, but it's going to be free. And yeah, we've put it in large here because one of the big features of the stage creator is that you can create a Velo Victory stage just from a single GPX file. So you take any if you have your local training right and you want to make a race or a stage of it in Velo Victory, go ahead. It will be very easy to do so. The next thing here is a live demo now, because it will bring the thing more to life than if you just do it in screenshots now for the stage editor. Let me open up the stage creator, Velo Victory stage creator. I'm sorry for those who are joining on mobile because it might look a little bit small because of the resolution I'm sharing in here. So we opened up the stage creator. You get this empty slate here, a clean slate that you can start from, and it will just ask you, do you want to open a Velo Victory stage or do you want to import a GPX file? Yeah, since we say the GPX one is a really cool thing, we start with that one. So you import GPX and then you can just browse to whatever thing you like. So you see here on my desktop, I already have the Tour du Finistère, the GPX file from it. Then I can just double click it. And what will happen next, the stage creator will load the profile. It will read all the settings and it will already pre-prepare a little bit of Velo Victory format for you. So actually to create a stage file, you don't need to add much from what happened already. You can do the stage name. It will recognize the start and end city from the GPX file. Is it a normal stage? Is it a time trial or a team time trial? What's the country? Normally, again, detected from the GPX format again. And then some more detailed stuff, what's specific about a stage in a game. So how does the finish look like? Is it flat? Is it slightly uphill? Is it steep or downhill? Like what kind of bonifications do we give? Bonifications for a flat stage, for a mountain stage, for a or category mountain stage, and what's the echelon chance? Non, low, medium, high, and then you need to give it the relief settings. So is it a flat, hilly stage as such? But here there's a suggest knob. So right from the data that it has from the GPX file, it can already suggest it for you. Like here it says, I suggest you catalog it as a medium mountain stage. The detail profile is a hill medium stage, and the road type is normal, so there's no cobble sections or whatever detected at the moment. So yeah, but you can change it if you like, but the suggest button is very easy. Let's say this was part of a stage race. Then what you can do is you can add some sprints. You can add a sprint, an intermediate sprint that is, or you can add a mount sprint. And then the mount categories are here as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the HG. Let's say we add a sprint at whatever, kilometer 70. And then it will immediately show on the profile. We can add, let's say, a mountain, cat 3. At where do we put it? Yeah, you can see here easily the kilometers. 21. Yeah, okay, that looks on top of a mountain. And next to sprints, we also have the sectors. So what is a sector? That can be a gravel sector, a cobble sector, or a wind zone. So the cobble and gravels are in 3 different categories, easy, medium, hard. But let's add for now a wind zone where there's more chance of an echelon happening. Let's give it here at kilometer 25 we want it, and we want to have it for 12 kilometers, and then okay, it reflects again here in the profile. So you see here it's very easy to edit. You can add some other stuff, and if you're not happy you can just remove it again. just as easily. And then if you say I'm happy with it, you just save it. So let's save Finistère as a Velo Victory stage now. It just gives you a pop-up. Finistère, Finistère. Okay, save it. Stage file saved successfully. Let's just quit the stage creator for now. And then you see here on my desktop, yeah, maybe it's tiny, but there's a .vvs file created, Finistère.vvs. And what's the cool thing now here? You see it by the logo already. Just by double clicking on an already compiled VVS file, you just double click it, it opens again in the stage creator. And you can adjust things like here you say, the intermediate sprint, yeah, I want it a bit further up. So you can both create from scratch from a GPX file, but you can already start, you can edit existing VVS files as well, just by double clicking them, and they will show in the stage creator. So very lightweight and very, very fast and intuitive again, to do the editing. Yeah. So yeah, that concludes the part on stage creating. So the summary, it's going to be free. It's a separate tool, GPX file supported, and you can open up any VVS file, which stands for Velo Victory stage file. And then yeah, we come to the next thing. We have all those assets. You created your VVS, you created your stage file. Yeah, where do we put it? Is it going to be difficult to include it in the game? Well, if I can answer it, no, it's not going to be difficult. So we have a really easy folder structure. So you have the database folder, and in that database folder, no surprise, you have the default databases in there. And then you have 4 other folders within. Is the faces, the logos, the shirts, and the stages folder. And all of them have a very, very intuitive subfolder strategy. So it's very easy to find where you need to put things. So let's just give 2 samples. The shirts folder, where the jerseys are held. They have 4 subfolders: team, championship with the championship jerseys, the national teams for the national team jerseys, and the race leader, where you have the shirts for the race leaders in stage races. And then like for team, a team has a subfolder per team. Race leader has a subfolder per race. So yeah, it's really as you would expect, very easy to navigate through it and find the place you're looking for. Okay, since we're touching upon assets folder structure, and we had the stages, so the next thing that's still to be discussed is the graphical assets. And I think the main thing there are the jerseys. And then the cool thing here is to mention is that we have an agreement with Cyanide, that the jersey file can be exactly the same as for PCM. So that's a really cool thing. That means that any fantasy jersey you find on PCM mod and you can download for PCM, you can just download it and put it in Velo Victory and it will work as well. So that's really fantastic news for the community, for the shirt making modders. That the effort that you guys are doing, it's not throwaway for one game. It will just work for Velo Victory as well. And what's maybe also nice to know, all our assets in Velo Victory are just in the .png format. So it's the most used graphical format. So it's very easy. It's not some exotical one. So it's really easy for anyone to work with. So again, here we had in mind to make it as easy as possible to edit stuff and to make it understandable for everyone, for the expert modders, but also for the people who just want to update one shirt for their fantasy team they are creating.
Yeah, like people are saying in the chat, it's really cool of Cyanide. Everyone benefits that way. The community in particular benefits. So yeah, really nice.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. That's really an awesome thing. Okay, then next, rider photos. Those who are following Velo Victory channels, you've probably seen it. We use rider photos on top of the team jersey. So if a rider changes teams, he will wear the jersey of his new team, which is a really cool immersive feature that really makes you bond with your cyclists and makes, yeah, the game world feels a little bit more alive, I would say. Yeah, but of course, that's just a little bit different than adding a photo like you have in other management games, and it's not positioned on the shirt. So here in Velo Victory, it's of course important that the face is rendered correctly on top of the shirt. And yeah, for the modders, we created a template file in different layers that helps with you to put them correctly, to place them at the right position within your face PNG file, so that you know when I load this up in the game, it will be positioned 100% correctly on the shirt. This template will also come with the game. It will be available for free for everyone who wants to use it. So you can add a photo of yourself if you like, and have it positioned correctly so it can be used by the school feature in game. I think we are nearing the end, so maybe we can talk a little bit about what's next, mostly for you guys, for the modding community. So what we will do is like the stage creator or the stage editor, whatever you like to call it, and also the templates for the graphics. We will make those available very shortly, so you guys can already get used to it, start using it. And also a thing we'd like to say is the pre-game editor, so where you can edit the default database before you start the game. That one we will also 100% release before the game releases. So you can start your modding, you can start editing whatever you like, even before game release. And then, yeah, a big thank you. I think for a lot of people wanted to join. A lot of people were enthusiastic about it to join this meeting. So that also feels very motivating from our side. There were a lot of questions. We've read through all of them. We try to incorporate as much of them in the demos, in the slides. And then maybe one question we saw a lot. So we were not really blind for it, but the people asking about the release date. It was not earlier in the slideshow as it's of course not part of any modding related aspect. But yeah, we saw you guys' questions, and what I can say on that is that we are really working hard day in day out to get this game finished. But we think it's only fair to announce a date when we are 100% sure of it. I think it's the honest thing to do. We don't want to communicate something where we need to get back on, or that we don't make it. So as soon as we are in a position that we are certain and comfortable to do so, we will certainly share it with you guys. But really, it's nice to see all the questions on the release date, because it shows that you guys are just as eager, just as enthusiastic as us for Villa Victory. I don't know, Cyril, if you want to have the final words today.
Yeah, great honor for me. No, but I agree. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I've seen a lot of positive reactions in the chat. There were a lot of questions. Yeah. What I wanted to say is that regarding game release, I mean, this really shows that this is coming in good shape, and it's really in the right direction. So no release date yet, it seems, but it's heading in the right direction, as you say. Yeah, I mean, for the final word, I guess most people here have the game wishlisted on Steam. If you don't hesitate to do so. It not only it helps you be aware of the news that will be published on Steam, but actually it also helps the game, because from what I understand, there is a kind of multiplier effect when a significant amount of people wishlist it on Steam. So yeah, feel free to do that. But yeah, thanks a lot, Davey, for running us through it, for building all of this. Thanks everyone again. Thanks, Davey. Yeah, have a good evening, good night, everyone. and see you all later. Bye bye.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Bye.